Hello, friend. I want to tell you about the Jaguar X-Type car. There is no easier or cheaper way to own a Jaguar than to buy the X-Type. Why is it so cheap? Is it prone to breakdowns, expensive to maintain? Or are the negative reviews based on stereotypes? Is the Jaguar X-Type worth buying? Engines in the Jaguar X-Type. Which one to choose? The engine range was tailored to both the budget-conscious and the budget-conscious buyers who expect class under the hood. Diesels can be considered the base engines, but we'll start with petrols. The 2.1 V6 engine is a compact, rather unusual design, generating 156 horsepower, and its only advantage is silky operation for such a capacity. It does not provide good performance or decent fuel consumption, and it is not combined with four-wheel drive. In our opinion, it makes absolutely no sense. A much better choice is also a V6 engine, but with a capacity of 2.5 or 3.0 liters. Contrary to appearances, these are not Ford engines, although they have some things in common. The block, timing drive, and some accessories are common, that's all. Jaguar did a lot to adapt both units to its own needs. That is why the 2.5 engine has not 170 horsepower like in the Ford, but 196 horsepower and goes better from lower revs. The engine was combined with both manual and automatic transmissions. The 3-liter engine in the Mondeo ST220 has 226 horsepower. In the Jaguar, the power was increased to 230 horsepower. However, the sports Ford has higher torque and different characteristics, more high revving. The Jaguar engine collects better from the bottom. Both V6 variants are combined with four-wheel drive as standard, and these are the only engines that can be recommended. The range also includes diesels created for the needs of the high-pressure common rail fashion. The X-Type uses two. On the one hand, we have a 2-liter engine coming straight from the Mondeo, which has not been devoid of any of its faults, serious fuel system failures. On the other, there is a better 2.2 engine, which comes from the PSA group. It gives 155 horsepower and burns little fuel, but clatters under the hood and is not combined with four-wheel drive. Its great advantage is excellent access to spare parts and high reliability. Buying a diesel engine is pointless, because most have high mileage and can generate significant costs at any time. In our opinion, the rule is this: if you want a diesel, buy another car, even with the same engine, and if you want a Jaguar, choose a petrol V6 with four-wheel drive. What goes wrong with the Jaguar X-Type? First of all, the 2.0D engine. However, if you choose the V6 petrol engine wisely, you have to reckon with head gasket failures and leaks in almost every place. Since there are two heads, the problem is twofold. They may require planning, and here the costs grow exponentially. Such a failure may seem like a minor thing, but you will leave a few $100s in the workshop when it turns out that the valve seals need to be replaced and the seats cleaned. In addition, there is the emergency electronics, electrical harness, ignition coils, and cooling system, which often leaks. Oil leaks are also standard, even from the variable valve timing system or when connecting the oil pan to the block. Unfortunately, despite the use of a chain timing drive, both chains can stretch. The blessing in disguise is that they fit from Mondeo. Petrol units are not very good at driving on gas. It is not surprising that they want to install the system, because fuel consumption of 10 to 15 L, 100 kilometers, is basically the norm. Incorrect operation of the system will quickly drive you crazy and the engine to failure. Lambda sensors will burn out quickly, and there are 4 of them. Unfortunately, we do not have good news about the drivetrain. The problem is not even the gearbox or the dual-mass flywheel in the manual, but the transfer case in which the differential mechanism is located. This is not a typical differential, but a planetary gear which wears out, and the bearings make noise, mainly because the oil is not changed. This is what the manufacturer recommends, and an uninformed mechanic who does not see the plug will say that nothing needs to be done here. There is an oil filler, but it is invisible and difficult to use. The drive shaft joints wear out quickly. Other problems with the Jaguar X-Type include falling out ventilation vents, faulty xenon headlights, failures of equipment elements, leaks from the power steering pump, and severe corrosion of the sills. The suspension parts are interchangeable with those from the Mondeo, although not all of them, and they do not wear out quickly. Is it worth buying a Jaguar X-Type? No, if you are simply looking for a car of this class. It will be easier and cheaper with BMW or Mercedes, as well as Lexus and Audi. However, we understand that someone may want something more original, for example Jaguar. In such a case, it is worth tempting yourself with a well-maintained car, especially with a 3.0 engine. This version will already have class and some value in the future. Probably no one will look for a Jaguar in diesel in a few years, although the 2.2D version is quite economically reasonable. The X-Type 2.5 is also nothing special, so it is at most a good offer for people who want to change gears manually. We do not recommend this car, but we can understand buying the X-Type 3.0. Thanks for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know of any problems with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to write about them in the comments.